So in this video, I will show you how we built DealFlow completely inside Nowa. And DealFlow is an app that VCs can use to keep track of their deals. So any app built in Nowa is a cross-platform app, meaning that it can be deployed as a mobile app, desktop app, or web app. And here we can see the app running inside an iOS simulator and as a web app. So if I click on the plus, I can add a new deal. And here I can put some information about the startup, their funding round, some notes, and assign a partner for this deal. I can also drag and drop any deal if the status changed. I can click on any deal to see its info and also the founders of the startup. Click on a founder to open the profile and edit them if needed. And if you go to the dashboard, you can see a quick summary for the entire deal pipeline. The app comes with a light mode as well that you can switch to. And you can get some info about the app by clicking on About. And I will sign out from this app. Now let's switch to the web app. Since I'm using the same account, if I click on refresh, I will see the changes I made earlier reflecting here. And the app works exactly as we've seen before. And notice that the layout is fully responsive, meaning the layout automatically adjusts depending on the platform. And this is how the project looks inside Nowa. So now let's start from scratch and build it. So using Nowa desktop version, I will create a new local project. And here I will give it the name DealFlow. Then I will choose the folder where the project will be located. Then I will click on create. So my project was created. And here I can see the home screen inside a board where I can freely move it and have other UI elements as well. On the right side, I have the details panel to modify the visual elements of anything selected. I can create a new screen from here or drop from a template. And here you will find all the widgets that you can drag and drop to build your screens. Now, every project comes with a full theme system out of the box, and in this panel, I can control the details of the theme. And now it's the time for the fun part, which is building. Now I am inside the AI chat panel, and for the agent mode, I have 4 modes that I can choose depending on the complexity of the task. As a start, I will use the plan mode to create a detailed plan for the app that I want to build. So here is my prompt. I want to build the DealFlow tracker app for VCs. It has a Kanban pipeline board, a startup details screen, a founder profile screen, and a portfolio dashboard with total deals. And I will use a dark modern theme and I will connect to Supabase as the backend. Now let's click on send. Now the agent will start to analyze the requirements for my app. And now it is telling me that since my app should be connected to Supabase, it's not yet connected. And by clicking on that icon, I can then connect it to Supabase and Nowa will do the full setup for me. Now it's connected. So I will go back to Nowa and then I will create a new Supabase project. And here I'll put the database password. And this will be the backend or the database that the app will be connected to. Now I am done. So I'm just going to tell the agent that I am done. Now the agent verified that Supabase is now connected. But while analyzing my prompt, it saw that some parts were not clear. So now it is asking me some clarifying questions. So do I want a drag and drop in the Kanban board? Yes. How should we handle the assigned partner? Now, if I'm not convinced with the default choices here, I can click on other and enter my own answer. So here I would say I want a menu where I can see all the users who signed up for the app and I can choose from to be the assigned partner. The last question that if I want an advanced chart or like a simple visual indicators are enough, and they're actually enough. So let's now click on implement the plan. So here is a plan the AI made. So I can review to see exactly what it will implement before implementing it. I just noticed that there was no authentication mentioned in the plan, like sign in and sign up. So I'm just going to tell it to update the plan to include this. And now I can see the plan now includes authentication. So I'm happy now with this plan. So what I can do is just click on implement. Now it switched automatically to the agent mode and started executing on the plan. So the agent broke the plan into multiple to-dos, and this will help the agent to stay on track and implement the complete plan without missing anything. And here I will approve the Supabase MCP request. And this is because the AI here is not just building the front end of the app, it's also setting up the backend and building the database using the Supabase MCP. So you don't have to worry about anything to make this app fully functional. So now it's almost done with the backend tasks, and now we can see it started to work on the front end of the app. And from the chat, we can see which screens or part of the screens that now the AI is working on. Here is it telling me that the AI has been working for a while, so I'm just going to click on continue. And here's another MCP request on the database that we have to approve. Awesome, so the AI is done with all the to-dos, and now I am seeing a summary of what the AI did. So it says that the app is fully built and it has implemented all the required screens that were mentioned in the plan. Now let's check out the screens and components it created. I can just drag and drop them from the chat right onto the board. So this is authentication screen, as we can see, and this is the DealCard component and the Kanban column component. Here is also the startup details screen and the founder profile screen. Let's now drag and drop and organize them a little bit on the board. Oh, we forgot the dashboard screen as well, so let's bring it. And finally, let's play the app. Now in Nowa, you can instantly run the app without waiting, without building inside Nowa itself. And here I am signing up for the app. Now it is telling me that I need to verify my email address. So if I go back to Supabase in the database, I can see there was a new user created, but it is waiting for verification. And here in my email address, I will click on confirm. Going back to Supabase and refreshing, now I can see the message went away. And now I will try to log in with wrong credentials. Awesome, I can see the error message. And now I will correct it and sign in to the app. Awesome, now I am in and I can see there is a pipeline screen with a Kanban board and a dashboard screen as well. Okay, let me try now to create a new deal. So I will click on this plus and here I will put the startup name, description, industry, stage. I will also put some information about the funding round they're raising, their revenue and growth rate, and will assign myself as the associated partner. And here I will put some notes about this startup. And now I will click on save. But here I cannot see the deal. So maybe if I click on refresh, oh, then I can see the deal. Now, if I open one of those deals by clicking on it, I will see an empty screen. So I don't want this. I want the deal to automatically appear and I want to be able to modify and see the information when I click on a deal. So I will go and drop the pipeline screen and then go to the AI agent. And by selecting the screen, I can see the screen is attached as context. And here I will write a prompt to fix those two issues. Because the screen is attached in the chat, now the prompt will be focused on that screen. The agent here also created a to-do list because this prompt requires multiple steps like investigation and implementation or fixing. Awesome, it is done and it says that it has fixed the two issues that I reported in the prompt. So let's now play the app and test it out. Let's click on a deal. And okay, great, now I can see the information of the deal and I can also modify them if I want to. And if I click on save, now I can see that the status also updates automatically without me having to click on refresh. Awesome. And now I want to create a new deal for another startup just for me to be sure that the problem was fixed. And here I can see the deal that I just added. So now I am sure that the problem was fixed. Now I want to change the preview device from an iPhone to an iPad. Because the same project I am building now, I can deploy it to iOS, Android, web, Windows, Linux, and Mac. So I want to see how it will work on those platforms. And now I can see here that the layout is responsive and it looks great on an iPad. So the layout came responsive by default. By the way, I cannot see a section where I can add a founder for a startup as the AI said. So while I am inside the play mode, I will use the AI to ask it about this issue and see what is the reason for that. It's now done. So the issue was that the founders only showed up if they already existed in the database under that startup, but there was no way to add them from the app itself. But the AI just fixed that. So now if I hit restart, you can see a new section right here where I can add founders to the startup directly from the app. Okay, let me test it out by adding a founder. So I will write the name, position, and the bio. And here I can see the founders added to the section. Amazing. And to verify, I will open the deal again. And here I can see the founder. Great. Okay, one last task to do with AI and then we will go fully visually. So in the funding ask here, I usually put the number in millions. So I don't want to keep writing zeros. So I selected the field and then in the AI, I ask it to change the unit from ones to millions. Okay, so the agent has a question for me, which is, should the value be converted automatically? Which means that when I write 2 millions, should the value be converted to ones in the database? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to choose convert automatically. So which means that I want to keep the value in the database in ones and the app itself will do the conversion. It's done. Let's try it out and play the app. Great, so the 1.5 million that we added before and we added a lot of zeros, now we can see it is displaying as 1.5 M. And if we go back to the database and we go to the table editor and we open the startups table, we can see the 1.5 million there is added in ones. And if we change the number to 2, for example, and then we save it, and then we go back to the database and refresh it, then we will see the number displaying as 2 millions in ones. Now I want to make some UI and logic changes visually, and this is what makes Nowa unique. It's the only platform that combines a full visual editor with a full AI agent, with no limitations on either. You can visually edit anything the AI generates or vice versa. So I changed the main text inside this card, and also on the right side I can also change the width of the border of the card, and I will also try to change the radius as well. I will experiment with reordering the sections by drag and drop them inside the screen, but I didn't like it, so I just clicked on undo by clicking Command Z or Control Z. I will now drop a text widget and write down summary, and then I will drop this inside the screen above the 3 cards. And notice that the text style of the text widget was automatically connected to the theme, and here I can change it to another text style from the theme itself. But actually I'm gonna just revert it to how it was because it looked the best. Now on the left side I can see the Git panel, and every Nowa project comes with Git setup out of the box. So here I can see the changes that happened from the last commit I did, and here I can make a new commit. So now I will have different restore points that I can get back to if I need it. Now I want to change the icon and the icon color of the first card, but actually the 3 cards are the same card component. The only difference is in the parameters or the data sent to each one. So from the details panel here I can change what is sent to the first card, and by that I can update the icon and the color of the icon. Okay, now I will undo that to bring it back as before. So now I want to experiment by adding something fun to the screen, and I will go to the widgets panel and drop the Loti animation widget on the screen. And now I will drop the widget inside the screen, but I want its width to take the full width of the screen. So I can go to the right side and choose expand. By this, it will always expand to take the full width of the screen. So even for different screen sizes, it will always adjust, making the layout responsive. By the way, I can change the size of any screen on the board. For example, this one, I will change it to look like a web app. Here I can see that the layout is good, so now I will revert it back as before. Now enough with the UI editing. Let's now see how we can edit the logic in Nowa visually. So let's actually go to this pipeline screen and select this button, the plus button that we use to add a new deal. On the right side, we can see the on-press functionality, and by clicking on edit, we can open this logic graph inside something we call the circuit. Here I can see the logical flow that happens when the user clicks on that plus button. So first we push to a new screen to add a startup. Then after adding a startup, we call a function called load deals to refresh the deals when we go back to the pipeline screen. We can open this function to see how it works inside. Inside, it calls another function called fetch startups from Supabase to grab the data from the database. Then it stores the results in a variable called deals, and then we refresh the screen, and while refreshing the screen, we update the deals with the latest data. So I want now to add something to this logic visual. So I will add a node called show snack bar, where I will show a small message in the end of the screen, and this will be called exactly after we update the deals. So I will click on this brush to edit the text inside from hello world to deals were loaded. And now let's close the circuit and play the app to see. And here we go, we can see the message deals were loaded because the function load deals was called. Now let's stress test the AI with a big one. I will ask it to create a light theme and a dark theme with a toggle for the user to switch between them inside a settings page. And here the agent created its own to-do list for the task. And what's really powerful about the AI inside Nowa, that it can search across the entire project, find the smallest relevant pieces and make very targeted changes. So even when a prompt touches the whole app, it stays fast and token efficient. Now it's done. I will drop the settings page onto the board, and you can already see the toggle here. Now let me play the app. Here I can see the settings option added that wasn't there before. And if I click on it and then hit the toggle, and just like that, the entire app switches to light mode. Every single screen and every single element. This looks great. And even the snack bar colors changed as well to the light mode. Now the next step will be really fun because it will be a mix between a UI edit and logic edit all done visually. So I want to add a button called about to display a dialog that talks a little bit about the app. So I will duplicate this style by clicking on Alt and then drag. Then I will also duplicate the size box to make a space between the two buttons. Now on the outline I can see the two list styles and there's a size box between them. Now I will change the text here from sign up to about and also change the icon next to it. And I will choose a question mark icon. Now I want to change the color for this text and icon. And I will pick from the theme colors the on surface color for the icon, and now I will do the same thing for the text. Now this is a color for items on surface, and this will automatically switch when the user toggle between the light theme and the dark theme. And here we can see how the color changes, and this is the power of theme colors. Now I will open the widget picker and drop a widget called alert dialog. It is used to show a pop-up dialog, and notice how the colors are already set to match the app theme. That's because every widget in Nowa is automatically connected to your theme. So you set it once and never worry about styling again. Now on the right side, I will add a text widget as the content widget for this alert dialog. Also notice how the text style here is automatically connected to the app theme. Now I will write some text to talk about this app and the creator of it. And now I will double click on the title to change it to About DealFlow. I will select now the widget, go to the top right and click here to convert it into a reusable component. I will call it About DealFlow dialog. This way I can use it anywhere in the app, like in the logic editor, as we will see next. Now I will select the About list style, and on the right side I will open the logic for the On tab. Here I can see the older logic for the sign out, so I will just delete it. Then I will add a node called Show dialog. Then on the right side I can click here to replace this default widget with a new widget. And here I will choose the component we just created, which is About DealFlow dialog. So now I will add it, and that's all what we need. So if I close the circuit, then click on the screen and then click on play to play that specific screen and click on About, I can see the dialog I just created. And even if I toggle the theme and I click on it, I can see the colors changing. Amazing. Now let's see another example of working with a component. Here we have the DealCard, a component that holds the info about a deal. In the outline, we can see the widget's title, which is the component name. And this component is used inside another component called the Kanban column, which is also used inside the deal pipeline screen. Now let's work on the deal card itself. We can see that it receives a parameter called startup that holds all the startups info. And now I want to add a logic where I can see a startup's one-liner by double tapping on the card without opening the full deal details. So I will select the component and open the double tap logic. And here I can then set up the logic that will be executed when any user double taps on the deal card. Now I will add a snack bar, and inside the text of the snack bar, instead of having a fixed text, I will use the parameter startup that we saw earlier. And inside we can fetch the one-liner. And that's it. So now if we close the circuit and we play the app, now if we wait a little bit until the snack bar goes and then we double tap on any of the deals, we can see the startup one-liner appearing as a snack bar. Amazing. Now the next edit that I'm thinking to do is to show the number of the founders also inside the deal card. But for this time, I will use AI, even though I can also do it visually, but now let's go with AI. So I selected the deal card, and then I wrote a prompt to do that. And because I selected the deal card, it was attached as context. Great, now I can see what the AI added on the deal card, where I can now see the number of the founders. I can also see the logic it used inside the text field. Now let's play the app. Now for Nowa here, I can see there is one founder. But for active pieces, the icon is not appearing. And this is because it has no founders. So I will test it out by adding 2 founders here and see if the number will be correct. And now I have 2 founders, so if I go back to the pipeline screen, great, now I can see the number of the founders on the deal card. Amazing. Now before moving to the next part, I just want to remove the snack bar that we added earlier to the load deals function because it became a little bit annoying. So now we deleted it and now we save the project. Great. And don't forget to make a comment every time you're happy with the results, because this will allow us to go back in time if we need it. So let's say, for example, now I want to destroy the app. So I want to delete the about list style and I want to also delete this card. So as soon now as I save by clicking on Ctrl or Command S, on the left side, I can see now the changes that happens comparing to the last comment. But if I click on this, which is discard all, then I will revert back all the changes. So all the things I did to mess up the project now came back. So this is why commenting is important. Now I want to test the app on an actual simulator. So I will run my iOS simulator on my Mac and I will put it side by side with Nowa. Then here from inside, I can see it in the connected devices, which is the iPhone 16 Plus. So if I click on it and then I click on play, then Nowa will build the full app on the simulator and I can test the entire app. So here it started from the login screen. So I will log in to my account. Now I can see here the app is exactly as we were seeing it inside Nowa. I can drag and drop and change the status of some deals. I can see the overall summary on the pipeline, and here I can also change the themes in the settings. Now something awesome Nowa has called hot reload. So here, for example, if I deleted this Lottie animation and then I save the project, I can instantly see the simulator updating. And it happens on any change. So for example, here also I will change this icon to another icon. And then also as soon as I save, I will see the simulator updating instantly in less than a second. I will also change here the radius and the width for this card and the updates instantly appearing. Amazing. So if I go to the founder's profile screen, I notice that I can't edit the information there and I don't like the design that much. So while running the app in the simulator, I will make the AI work on the founder's profile screen. Here, I will select the screen, then open the AI chat panel. And I can see here the screen name attached as a chip, which means that the prompt is focused and scoped to that screen. And I will choose the thinking mode for this prompt because it's powerful enough. Then I will write a prompt to make the UI more appealing and make it possible to edit the founder's info. Even though we asked the AI for two things, the AI created a third task on its own, making sure that the founder info stays in sync when the user go back to the deal page. And watch the new UI being built live on the board. This is really exciting. It's done. I will save and the simulator updates instantly. So let's try it out. I will change the founder's name, position, and add a note under his bio. Then hit save. Here I see the message that the profile updated successfully. Let me go back to the deal page. The founder name is updated here too. That's the third task the AI handled. If I open the founder's profile, I see the new info. Amazing. So what if I want to test on my actual smartphone? So all you have to do is just connect your smartphone via USB cable. And here I can see my Pixel 7 Pro showing up as soon as I connected it to my Mac. Now I just hit on play and now it's building the app on my smartphone. And down there I can see the logs of the building process. And here's my actual phone screen. Now the app is playing on my smartphone, so I will log into the same account I created earlier and then I will do a quick test before resume building. So the first thing is I will test the drag and drop. So I will drag this deal to the due diligence and it looks that it's working. The dashboard also looks great and working. I will also see if I can see the info of any deal, which looks like so, and also I can open the founder profile and all looks great. And if I go back to the deals page and I double tap on any of the deals, I can also see the one-liner. Also, the switching themes also works, so great. Let's now start editing some stuff. So I'm thinking to restyle these three cards on the top of the dashboard. For example, I want to add a background glow to them. So I will select the row widget, so my prompt is scoped to it only. Then I will write a prompt to do the glowing. I will let the AI figure out the details, like the color and intensity of the glow. Wow, the glow is stunning, and the color was set to match automatically the icon color for each card. Now when I save, the glow appears instantly inside the app on my smartphone. Also, let's change back the text here from category to section, then hit save, and as always, the app updates right away without me needing to restart it. So that's enough for testing on mobile. So I will click on stop here to stop the app. So what about running it as a web or desktop app? So for desktop, you will see in the list the option to run the app as a macOS app or Windows app, depending if you are currently using Nowa on Mac or Windows. For web, I can choose Chrome here and this will run the app as a web app on localhost. So I will choose Chrome, then click on play. Then I will close this AI chat panel and notice that Chrome opened with the app inside running on localhost. And here I will log in with the same account that I have been using. So here I will drag one of the deals around and looks like drag and drop is working. Here I can see the dashboard and in the settings, I can also switch the theme and all looks good. So actually I don't like the glow here and I want to revert it. So besides using get, I can also revert a specific prompt I wrote. So here I will go just above the prompt that made the cards glowing and I will click on restore checkpoint. Here I can see the screen that will be affected and I will confirm. The glowing effect went away and everything the AI did after that checkpoint is reverted to. I save and the changes reflect instantly, whether it's a mobile, web, or desktop app. This has been a local project, which let us test on simulators and real devices. But Nowa offers a cloud project, and we can have this project as a cloud project next to the local while syncing between them. To do that, I will go to the settings, project sync. Here, I can sync the changes made locally to the cloud instance or vice versa. The benefits from the cloud project that it can be accessed from any device under your account and allows one-click deployment to web, Play Store, and App Store. I will click here on sync from local to sync the changes to the cloud instance. Now it's done. And here I can open the cloud version of it. Let's now deploy this app to the web. So I will go here to the top right. And here I have two options. Development, which gives me a link that will be active for 12 hours for testing with users or stakeholders, and production option, which is permanent with the option to have a custom domain. Now I will go with the development and click on publish. Now it's done, and here I can see the time remaining for the link. Now let me open the link. And here's the app live with a link that I can share for testing. Now I will log in, and here is the app working as expected. Actually, I will test something that we didn't test before, which is deleting a founder. So here I will delete Alex. And now if I go back to the database in Supabase under the founders table and I refresh, I can confirm that Alex's profile was deleted. Here's the partners table, which has me for now. Any user who creates an account here gets added. And here's the startups table. What if we add a deal directly in the database? Will it show up in the app? Let's find out. I will insert a new row for a startup called Open Finance. I will fill up all the details about their funding round and click on save. Now if I go back to the app and I hit refresh, here I can see Open Finance being added under first meeting stage with all the info that we entered. Amazing. So let's go back to Nowa, and let's say that your testers gave you some feedback and you implemented them. Then you just need to hit update here and the app will be updated within the same testing link. And once everyone is happy, you choose production here and then click on publish. This will make your app go live to the web permanently, and later you can add your custom domain as well. Now what about deploying to mobile? So before we do that, let's check the settings. So here is your app details, the app name, bundle ID, version, and the app icon. You will want to set these up before deploying, and whenever you push an update, just pump the build number here. Now over here is permissions. So if your app uses the camera, for example, you would enable that permission here before deploying. Here is the Flutter packages that the app is using. The AI added all these packages on its own because they were needed for the app, but you can always add or remove packages yourself. And now deployment. Starting with Android, I can build a debug APK for testing or choose a release version where I can sign the app. Now I can generate a key within Nowa or upload my own. Then I will get an APK and AAB app files to submit to the Play Store or any Android store. For iOS deployment, I just need to fill up my Apple developer account info, and Nowa will build the app and push it to the test flight. For web here, I can see all my web publishing status, add a custom domain, or if I want to host the app myself, I just click on download files and take the app to any hosting service I want, like Cloudflare, Firebase, or others. Congrats! Now you know how to build, test, and deploy a complete production app using Nowa. But one last thing, what about the code itself? Can you see it, touch it, change it? Absolutely. Let me select this auth screen and open it in its own tab. Here I can see this code chip that when I click on it, I can see the full source code for that screen. Let me make a quick edit. I will change the subtitle text here and the height of this size box from 48 to 100. Then I will compile. Here we go, both changes reflected instantly. But the space is too much, so I will revert it back to 48. Now let's go deeper. I will add a fill color to the email text field. Now I will go back to the source code and I will search for text field to locate the code for the email text field, and here it is. I will make the fill color to be true and add a random fill color. Now I will compile, and there it is. The email text field is filled with the color I added in the code. And watch this. I can also change the fill color visually. I will make it to be the primary color. Then I will save. And now if I go back to the code, the fill color is now taken from the primary color from the theme. And this is the unique power you have with Nowa. Whether it's AI, visual editing, or code, you can use any of them, mix all of them with zero limitations on any. Thanks for watching. Now go to Nowa.dev and start building something big today.